Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slimeboss here, and welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Cat Podcast. I am joined by my usual co-host, Hylian Hero, and this time we are joined by someone who I shouted out literally last month, Zeke Rocks. What's the numbers? 11.
What's up?
Anyway, how you guys doing?
Good.
We have a lot of news to cover today, and also we're already halfway through this month, and we already have so much to cover next month already as well. And
we'll try to record early next month.
Yeah, well, we say that, and then we never end up doing it.
Yes.
An episode will get out eventually. There's just so much to cover, so many so many games to play right now. There's so much to do. So, anyway,
Enough money.
Yeah, that's true.
That too.
I'm actually in the middle. I keep the same job, or like I have the same job technically, but I had to move locations. But they don't have like a direct transfer system. Like you don't have to sign any paperwork. You don't have to do anything. They're literally what they consider. What happens is they're like, well, all right, you're done here. Like you quit, as if you quit. And then you move over to the other place, you call the manager over there and say, hey, I want to start there. So it's kind of like this weird mess. So, like, right now, I think my next paycheck, I'm only getting $100. So, and I just got off of, like, a vacation, too, because I spent 2 weeks off. So it's just, like, I didn't get any time to work, and it's just, like, a weird transition period. So money is a problem right now. I was going to get the Switch OLED, but then it was sold out, and then they restocked as soon as I just dipped under the amount of money that I needed, because I was on vacation, so...
I had a pre-order for the OLED, and I got into a car accident a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I had to deal with all that stuff, buy a new car, and I just now got my insurance money yesterday, and I'm like, why couldn't I have gotten this like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? I could have kept my pre-order.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think before we actually get into the Nintendo Direct, there's some other news that happened outside of that. First, let's talk about the games that were released and if you guys have played it or whatnot. WarioWare, Get It Together. Full release.
It's good.
I've heard some good things about it. I haven't got a chance. I literally was going to buy a whole bunch of games in a row, but again, money. I bought Super Monkey Ball. I bought Metroid Dread, which we'll talk about next month, obviously, and then I obviously have the Travis Strikes Again series, the No More Hero series lined up as well. So I didn't get a chance to get WarioWare, but it's on my list to get next. So seems
it's really good. It is on the short side. Like the story mode from start to finish takes you just under 2 hours.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
WarioWare is just so much replay value. You want to go back and get high scores and stuff like that. They also have this like kind of online mode. It's still single player, but you kind of like try to get like a high score. And it changes, I think, weekly. So that keeps me coming back at least.
Does WarioWare really need an online mode though? Like I think the co-op serves it enough justice.
Yeah, local co-op is good, but it would have been nice to have some online co-op or something built in.
Sure. Zeke, did you get a chance to play this?
I played the demo. I never bought the game because I had it.
Fair. I mean, I actually haven't even
fun.
tried the demo either. I was meaning to play it for a video, and then I just totally forgot. All right,
it's good, but I don't know if it's worth, what was it, $50? I think
Probably.
40 would have been that.
Yeah,
40 would have been like the sweet spot. It's really good, but I only got like I think 5-6 hours out of it so far, and even I, who had a really great time with it, has a hard time justifying $50 for 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid, but, you know.
Metroid you can keep going back to, though. Metroid
Yeah.
can be like a 12-hour experience multiple times if you're slow enough like me.
Granted, I would also argue that Mario Party has that same issue for me.
Exactly.
So...
That's fair.
Anyway, so let's talk about a good game to an absolutely abysmal launch, and that is Sonic Colors Ultimate. First of all, gotta get it out there. Fuck Sonic. Second of all, the game released on Switch in not even a good state, so I don't know what that says to anybody about anybody.
It released on every system in a bad way.
Really? Okay, I thought it was just Switch. Okay.
It was according to what I've heard, it was bad on other consoles. It was abysmal on Switch.
Wow.
It was a Wii game.
And it's not even because it runs bad. It was just a glitchy mess. It was just unfinished, essentially.
Added in some footage, maybe. Some footage.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick it up, but after I saw that stuff, and I was like, all right, WarioWare's a few days after. I skipped on it.
I wasn't even gonna get it in the first place. Like I said, I am an avid Sonic hater, but that's just sad to see. Like, Nintendo's not celebrating Zelda's 35th anniversary, and Sonic's getting something.
Zelda got its yearly release. It's getting the Game & Watch. Like, I get it. It's not getting the celebration that Mario got, but
Metroid's getting more.
Metroid's getting the same amount. Okay, difference is Metroid got a new game, Zelda got a remaster.
A new game, a whole like year-long synopsis, like or 6-month synopsis. All right, so the next game is Skatebird, which I haven't got a chance to play. I really want to as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a 2.5D.
No, it's like a Skate 3 type game with birds and on tech-decks, essentially.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that from the trailer.
I wanted to get it so bad. It was pretty notable.
Well?
I don't know. It just kind of released and then disappeared.
Let me look this up real quick. I've got to know. I didn't even know this game came out.
I thought it was like next.
I thought it was like
1
November,
month.
December.
People were getting first 12 minutes a month ago. IGN.
It's got a 52% on Metacritic, and Nintendo Life gave it a 5 out of 10.
Yikes.
So I'm assuming no.
Good.
Oh no, that was supposed to be good. I don't know if they're trying to think that it's like supposed to be the next Skate 3 or the next whatever. What is this other game that's up and coming skateboard game? No.
Oh.
A streamer that I watch plays it a lot. Session. That's a
Never
big like skateboard, like down to the nitty gritty type. Which this is just supposed to be a dumb fun game, but that sucks to see that all it did was suffer.
Let me if I look through and see what's it called again?
Skatebird.
Bird. Out of 10. All is cute, earnest, and undeniably eye-catching, but it's also pretty unrefined on content, particularly irritating to play.
Dang, really?
It's rough.
I'm pretty sure it had ragdoll mechanics too.
Yeah.
They said mechanics sucked.
That's what you want out of a skateboarding game.
Yikes.
What you want is mechanics.
Yeah.
At it.
Alright, and the last game that's
Only
noteworthy...
5 levels.
Oh. What was that?
5 levels available. Barren and boring rooftop level.
Is it $5 on the eShop? Like...
No!
I think it's like a $20 release, if I remember correctly.
Oh god, that sucks.
Ooh, that ain't
Yeah.
No wonder we thought it was next year. The game's not done. Alright, so the last game that's sort of noteworthy is Kakarot. Any of you guys Dragon Ball fans?
Nope.
Well, the only reason it's significant is because that game is beefy, and if it runs well on Switch, that means it, could be on the same level of like polish as Doom Eternal, which
I don't remember hearing bad things about it.
I don't remember hearing anything about it. It just released.
It came out. I know people played it. I don't remember seeing like reviews for it or anything, but I didn't see anything on Twitter, so that's a good sign.
Okay. I mean, I hope it does well because Jump Force is pretty bad too, from what I've heard on Switch. So, I guess mentioning Kakarot in general is just notifying that porting things on Switch is possible. Nomura.
Called out. Called out.
Alright, so, other news. Pokemon got 2 trailers. One for Legends Arceus and one for BDSP. And with BDSP, we got the Poffins. We got the. Was this the trailer that? No, that was before E3. This is the trailer that talked about the Watch, the Poketch, and for Legends Arceus, they talked about I don't know, I don't even remember what they're called, but they're like trial captains from Sun and Moon, essentially, more or less. And they introduced one of the first noble Pokemon, which is an evolution of Scyther, being Cleaver. So I don't know if you guys saw these trailers, what you guys think of them.
Not a Pokemon guy.
I saw him. I think. Oh, Arceus. I honestly like the idea of that mechanic.
Yeah, and
I
also
like the Sun and Moon mechanic for that stuff too. So
yeah, it gives people more. Like, as far as I could tell, like, there wasn't anything to do. It's just like, oh, I guess we're taking missions and catching Pokemon. I feel like that'll get boring very quickly. Yeah. And so this sort of gives it, like, you know, I guess a quote-unquote gym structure, very loosely termed there. So
the thing is about Arceus too is it's sad it's like semi-open world. It's still like closed off, but it's gonna be like semi-open world. So
it's a wild area.
Being able to explore is a really good idea that they should have touched on earlier. Now, obviously, you've noticed as generations have gone on, as soon as what was it? 3DS, is it, when they started changing things up from like the usual?
Yeah, it was Sun and Moon was the first one.
Yeah, see, that was like, you know, good idea, because who wants to play the same game for 10 years, right?
I will be honest. I do not like Sun and Moon. I am an avid hater of Sun and Moon. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't mind it, actually. I really liked it.
My favorite game was Generation 6, just in all, X and Y, Mega Evolution, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, and then it all went downhill from there. Let's Go was pretty good, but the controls were, like, weird, but it was
honestly,
so fun.
I never got the Pokeball, and I wanted to.
You could probably see it back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it's hiding behind my third Switch.
Yeah. If only I had that many.
Right?
But yeah, no, I definitely agree that they started. I do like the idea of Pokemon trying to mix things up, but I think that Legends Arceus is a good way of exploring this as well, because it's sort of like, it's not main series, but it's also not a spin-off at the same time. It's sort of like in its own little bubble, and it allows them to experiment and grow and maybe add, you know, ideas that they can take from this into a more standardized Pokemon game.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 events happened in in September as well, being Tokyo Game Show and PAX. I don't think anything important came out of this.
Not that I've heard.
I covered it.
Oh yeah, you're doing Tokyo Game Show, right?
Covered it. It was awful.
Ooh.
All right.
Now here's my problem. Speak English.
The English?
I speak English, right? Understand English. I don't understand Japanese, and their commentators that translated Japanese, you couldn't understand them at all.
Wow.
They literally got Japanese Asian people that don't know how to speak English, like, at all.
Wow.
And then what they did too, they didn't even set the volume levels right. You could barely hear them over top of the other.
Was there even any, like, important game announcements? Like,
oh, not really.
No. So it was just like all in all bad.
Only ones that did good for Xbox, and I only really remember Xbox doing well because, you know,
it's not their place.
No,
not their place at all. But
all right,
I know.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of like Game Pass announcements that were being planned and coming out and
Yeah.
stuff too. That's really all from that whole mess.
All right. Well, I didn't watch it because Nintendo wasn't there, and I don't think Nintendo's ever there. I think they may have like a
Nintendo
small
doesn't go to
appearance.
TGS.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They go to Gamescom sometimes. They usually drop stuff around and don't go, but
I feel like
No,
they
they don't do
did. They used to
TGS.
have a larger appearance at most PAX as well, but they just sort of dipped out in the last few
it's
years.
COVID. They did something big for like PAX East for Animal Crossing right before COVID hit, and ever since they've stayed away from basically all events besides their own.
I mean, honestly, they kind of pioneered their own event, so you know,
And that's
the more
why
the
I don't
merrier.
think they do. That's why I don't think they do Tokyo Game Show, because they have a September Direct basically every year.
As much as
There's
I
no
hate
reason
it,
to go.
as much as I hate it, they really need to get out of E3. Like E3, it just gets worse every year. Apparently,
Okay, I'm gonna go on like a really tiny tangent, but the direct like gapping drives me insane because between September and February, that's like a 5-month gap. Then we have the 4-month
true.
wait to E3, then a 3-month wait to the September one. Just make one every 4 months. Get out of
idea.
I
E3.
guess, yeah.
Idea. Just drop
Go for it.
things like every other company.
I'm
Drop
Like
terrible
just
at it.
it
Twitter
worked
drops.
before. They just drop stuff on Twitter and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
Twitter
I mean, it's just a
wasn't-
lot of whiplash. You're just like, oh, Paper Mario's out, I guess.
It's not as fun. It's so
Yeah.
much fun waking up, seeing a direct announcement, getting a hype for that entire day or two, and then finally getting to watch it.
Or, you know,
Disappointing or not,
Masahiro
it's fun.
Sakurai's events, you
Is
know,
it
waking
worth
up at
the
7
4-month
a.m.
wait?
Like, it's an event. It's an experience.
I'm gonna miss those.
I know.
I do like them, but I feel like they should drop games." Then
I think they did it last year because obviously COVID, they couldn't do directs, and it worked fine. But I think Nintendo sees the spectacle of hyping something up like this, having people talk about it all month, even though they didn't say a word.
I mean,
It's just free publicity.
when Nintendo Directs were literally directs by Satoru Iwata, they were literally as special as you can get. Like, sometimes they didn't have game after game, back to back to back to back. Back in the day, it was like, you know, focus on a couple games and then they have like a highlight reel at the end. Like, it was about, you know, it's just like that Nintendo charm, and they don't have that anymore. But there's still some of it left over, and, you know, the whole direct hype community, you know, Fidel, all these other people, it brings some kind of magic about it that dropping Paper Mario on Twitter doesn't do for me.
On the topic of directs, though, I saw on Twitter that apparently this Thursday is the 10th anniversary of Nintendo Directs.
Really?
10 years.
Damn, that's insane.
Yeah. They started in 2011, so yeah.
I didn't really get into like the direct hype stuff until post Switch launch.
And that's really when they got big. Like the early 2011 through, I'd say even mid 2013. Like when they stopped doing E3, directs used to be like, show trailer. What you just saw. And explain for like 3 minutes what the trailer you
But it was
just saw
Satoru
was.
Iwata. You have to.
Yeah. They were fun to watch, but they absolutely had their growing pains.
Yeah, or like the Luigi Direct. That one will always go down in history.
Oh, I love that one.
So sorry, we're not on the same side there, there, Zeke. But
I see where you're coming from, though. Like it would be nice to like kind of be on the edge of your seat all year.
yeah,
But it is so much fun to
same
hype up
time,
a
do
direct.
I want to wait 4 months for them
Or-
to say something?
or they have
Exactly.
like, you know, maybe 2 big ones during the year, and then they have like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 mini directs like we used to have back in like what, 2018.
I like the idea in the mini directs.
Yeah,
like
or not the
What I-
partner showcases, the other ones, the real mini
What I will
directs.
say about those, though, they totally dropped those after last year. I was completely expecting to see like 1 or 2 in the spring. We have not. We will probably never see those again.
Yeah.
I like the idea of those.
Well, I assume that
were-
partners
they were cool.
were like, "Yo, where's my direct?" And Nintendo's like, "Well, we don't have any games," so they're just like, "All right."
Well, they had
Look at these
games. They
guys.
could have easily had one direct that year, but they decided to
Well,
spread it
we
all
did
out.
have one direct. We had that
You
one
know what I
direct
mean.
mini.
No, I'm talking about like a real Nintendo Direct. They could have had it in like. Honestly, they could have had it around E3 time. Obviously, I get why they didn't, but they could have announced Paper Mario, even
35th
Pikmin.
anniversary, the Hyrule
35th
Warriors, I
anniversary,
guess.
Hyrule Warriors. That would have been
Pikmin
funny.
4.
I don't know. I did like the
Get
way
me
that
started.
they did last year though, with all that they can. But you know,
It's
They
still
did
in
their
development?
best. It was hard.
all right. So the next
Yeah.
thing is Apple versus Epic is over. Finally, thank God.
Yeah!
Let's just hope that another scandal is over pretty soon, i.e.,
Basically.
Call of Duty.
Thought you didn't want to talk about that anymore.
Oh, I didn't talk about it. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Nintendo Switch got version 13.0 and it added Bluetooth support.
Why?
Awesome.
They've been sitting on this for years, and they just flip a switch now?
Like, okay, first of all, it's been inside the Switch the whole time, which is like, really?
Exactly.
But also, I fucking bought a peripheral. It's in my Switch Lite case. I'm one of those guys that bought a freaking peripheral so I can use my Galaxy Buds on my Switch. I have yet to use it once, and now they decided to release it in a firmware update. Like, really?
There was 2 responses on the night that Nintendo dropped that. Oh my god, I can finally use them. And, oh my god, I spent $25 on a peripheral that I can't use now. Thanks a lot, Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can use it, but is it going to help you?
Yeah.
No.
What's the
Is there a
point?
purpose?
Will be that one guy that will say it's not real Bluetooth.
It's not
really
real
not.
Bluetooth? What does that even
Nah.
mean?
Okay, so
Explain.
basically they're using like fake Bluetooth basically to transfer everything, the transfer audio over. What they're doing basically is just sending data out instead of receiving too. So you know how you can't use Bluetooth like mic on games, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't exist. So it's basically like, it's hard to explain, but it's basically like a fake Bluetooth at the same time, like it works, I guess.
Hmm.
No, like me and a couple people were talking about that too. I know I think Wood said something about it. I don't know, but it works, but it's not like the real deal, I guess.
Interesting. All right, so
Good to have, but it's not, you know.
yeah, for sure. Next, we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl had a bunch of leaks come out, and the announcement that there will be post-launch DLC. I didn't want to talk about it a whole lot because it comes out next month, or it's out already, but we'll talk about it next month. So I just wanted to say that just the game, it's just, you know, it had a lot of potential, but we'll talk about it more next month. Next up is apparently, but also apparently not. People have 4K Switches, and then Nintendo said, no, we don't have any 4K Switches. But they do. It doesn't mean that Zynga doesn't have 4K Switches. I just think that they do. Somewhere they're testing with it. They have a 4K Switch somewhere. Just because PR said no doesn't mean that there isn't any. So,
What I wonder is if it's not like a revision for the Switch, but actually the successor.
God,
Like,
I hope
because they
not,
seem
but-
very aggressive about keeping that narrative shut down.
It's just because if after, you know, what was it, the beginning of this year or late last year, where they're like, we're only halfway through the Switch's life cycle, and then to abruptly end it like that, it's just like, especially
think
because
it's
we
coming out
have a
anytime
lot
soon.
of games coming out, you know, next year, for them to announce a new console next year, and also, you know,
I've made my opinion very known that I don't think next gen is going to start until holiday 2023 at the earliest. I'd bet on sometime in 2024. It seems
don't
way
know.
too early, and I really think Nintendo's trying to catch up with those DS and PlayStation 2 numbers.
like, I honestly, I don't even think that they need to do a next gen. I think as long as they keep polishing up the Switch model, and I guess you can technically call it a next gen, but like label it like a new Nintendo 3DS, where it's like at 0.5 of a generation, not just a simple revision. Because first of all, they'll lose the numbers. Second of all, they'll have to completely start from scratch, and who knows if people are going to want to buy it, because they'll have the same problem that most people had with the NES and the SNES, because the Nintendo Switch has reached a huge, wide, casual audience. Like, they're going to be like, well, or the Wii U problem as well, that they're going to be like this new successor to the Switch that still has that hybrid model, probably still plays Switch games with backwards compatibility. They're going to be like, well, what's this? Why do I need to get a new one? Like,
and tell me why Sony can do it every generation and still sell basically the same amount of units. Like, I see where you're coming from, but I think we're at a point in gaming where Nintendo, if they market it right, could slap on a 2 at the end of it, Switch 2, release it in a few years, new games, backwards compatibility with your old one. I think people will gravitate towards it as long as it is a competitive price and it has the same quality games that the Switch had.
Or just, I mean, if they call it a 2 or Super Nintendo Switch, again, like I said, I'd rather have a 0.5 of a generation rather than a complete new, like, successor. Like, it's, I don't know.
We are slowly reaching a point where the Switch is starting to look very inferior, especially to next gen. It can't keep up forever, and as we're starting to see, these old ports are not as exciting as they used to be. And we're getting more and more cloud versions, and those are upsetting people more and more.
Like, okay, I think that a lot of people have a theory that OLED was supposed to come out last year, and obviously the pandemic had to delay that, and that they were going to use the OLED shells with, you know, completely new guts next year, or this year, or next year, one of the two, and that didn't happen. And because of the pandemic, everything has been pushed back, so more than likely that this next-gen Switch will probably be full-on next-gen, because they're like, well, our time schedule has been messed up. So,
right. What were you saying, Zeke?
Well, the thing about, too, is after the Switch, what are they going to do next? Like,
it has to be another Switch, essentially, yeah.
They have to just stay the course.
Because if they don't, they should definitely not pull another Wii U, because that would be awful. And number two, if they do a GameCube to Wii scenario where it's like another new home console, then it's just like it devalues what the Switch built up at this point. Nintendo has to be known now as the hybrid console person, unfortunately, but
they can't go back to one or the other.
Nintendo phone, like, I don't know.
No.
Oh, I guess they could do that. They could just have it running Android, which is a lot better than the Switch UI as it is now, and, you know, have the Joy-Con still on it.
You know they wouldn't do that.
You can finally play Mario Run and Geometry Dash.
Given Nintendo has completely abandoned their mobile games besides Animal Crossing and Mario Kart, they're not going to do that.
What do you mean? They have they abandoned FE already?
I was about to say they abandoned FE.
Oh, have they not?
I'm pretty sure they have a FVH like every couple months.
I've stopped seeing them, so I just kind of assumed the game was dead. So that's on me. You're right.
I don't know. I don't play mobile.
I mean, given
Nintendo
they're
games, so.
shutting down, if they haven't shut down already, Dr. Mario, I admit I'm not all that hopeful, and we still don't know when the Pikmin game is coming out.
Yeah, well, that's more.
That's more Niantic, right?
Yeah, Niantic, yeah. Which they've been going through some shit recently too, but you know.
Yeah.
Everybody is a bad guy now. All right, so I feel like every episode we have to talk about Switch Pro or something. Anyway, so DK is the first, officially the first Super Nintendo World expansion. Everything's already there. They're currently building it. The only thing that sucks is that Orlando's pretty much done, and it's not open. So, yeah, I guess that's something to talk about.
We saw this coming, I think, for like a year or two, that like leaked documents showed like the Donkey Kong area. I think there was like rumors of a Zelda area. And
yeah. Well, now there's rumors of Pokemon, but I don't know how far that'll go.
I'm excited to see that it's coming, but 95% of us still haven't even gotten to enter Super Nintendo World, so I can't be excited for an expansion to something I haven't been to yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They need to release it in Orlando. It's more or less done. Like, I saw it while I was there this past week. It's done.
They're delaying it for polishing.
Polishing of the mushrooms?
Yes. Yoshi was knocked over a couple times.
Did you hear about the new thing in Japan, the DK adding something to the one in Japan.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's my bad. My bad.
You're good.
I was just comparing it to Orlando because Orlando, the actual Super Nintendo World Mario version, Mario Park, is not open yet, and so we can't really get excited for the DK expansion when it's not overseas yet. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I just heard Orlando and Super Nintendo World. I'm like, oh, hold up.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right, final thing before we move on to the behemoth that I've been actively avoiding this whole time.
I have an idea of what it is.
Lego Mario World or Lego Mario question block, whatever. So it was leaked like literally like a day before it was announced, and then apparently it's just like a miniature recreation of Peach's Castle, Lethal Lava Land, Snowman's Land, and one other one, or Bob-omb Battlefield. And it has a little mini chibi Lego Mario, which looks weird, and a connection to the real Lego Mario sets with like little scannable sections. But Lego, why are you actively, just like me avoiding the Nintendo Direct, why are you actively avoiding just releasing normal fucking Lego sets? I don't even care about having Mario in it. I just want to build regular ass Peach's Castle.
I will admit, I was very upset with the sets we got like in the last year. This one, I'm down for. This one looks cool. I want it.
True. I will agree. I mean, they should at the very least release Mario and Luigi separately, just by themselves, because I assume people will want replacements eventually too, if the technology breaks. So
this just shows that I'm not a Lego guy, because I am not spending $180. On a Lego set.
That's another thing too. The price is abysmal for all of these sets. They're abysmal. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's Nintendo talking or Lego talking, because Lego sets are pretty usually cheap. If you want the ones that you want, like the Lego Star Wars sets, for example, they're usually between the $5 and $50 range. So it's like, Zeke, what do you think about this? You play with Legos?
Yeah, I play with the Legos, man. Yeah,
bro, I step on them all the time.
Lego's been known to have a little higher prices. I'm sure Nintendo are charging them. I don't know if they asked for it specifically, but they might be charging for, like, you know, the asset usage and whatnot. But
I guess since we're talking about it, I don't know if it happened this month or last month, but there was a petition that went out for Zelda sets, for Metroid sets, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was like super recently that
they got shot
Lego
down.
Yep, nope, yeah. They're like
not
so
gonna
then
happen.
Why Mario and why like this? Oh yeah, let's hit up Connects and have them do a Mario Kart set. Okay, whatever the fuck Connects is. All right, shall we get into the meat of this and just rapid fire?
Yes.
Nintendo Direct. Finally,
Yay.
After so long. No. Did we need this? Did we need this? Yes or no? Okay, yes. All right.
It was a great Direct.
It was a great Direct, I will admit. But a lot of the stuff that I was mainly hiding, mainly hyped for, happened a month later. So
that's fair.
All right. So the first things first: Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak DLC. Who's getting it? Who's played Monster Hunter Rise? I know you have not. Hylian.
Crickets.
Zeke, do you play Monster Hunter?
Do not.
All right, moving on.
Woo!
Honestly, a lot of people are predicting that when it comes closer to release, this will be a part of Switch Online Expansion Pack.
It'd be smart, honestly.
Yeah. Next up, Mario Superstars got another trailer, so we now know every single minigame and every single character and every single board. So, good on you, Mario Party fans. I'm not one of you.
Looks good. The minigame selection looks strong. It's Mario Party, so I can't get too excited.
The game's nearly out, so... Wait, is it out? No,
2 more weeks?
Almost, yeah.
Like, a week and a half.
Zeke, what about you? What's your hype level for Mario Party?
I don't play it.
All right,
then. I don't have enough friends to play Mario Party. Yeah.
Next up is Voice of Cards, which was just kind of one of those slow ones. Neat idea, kind of like Triangle Strategy. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah. I already forgot about that one, honestly.
Zeke, you?
Oh.
What was that?
Is a no.
Alright. Disco Elysium. Another RPG.
I heard so much about that game, and then I saw the gameplay in the direct, and I
have never heard of it until this direct.
It was heavily nominated at the Game Awards either last year or the year before, so I heard great things. That game does not look like it's meant for me at all.
Was it in a Wii U game?
Mystery games.
No, it was current gen.
Oh.
Like mystery games.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Alright, Hylian hero, Mr. Zelda over there. Hyrule Warriors Wave 2. Are you excited?
Yes. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. The new maps look really good. The Purah and Robbie, I'm iffy on. Like, they seem cool, and they're teasing one more character. I'm assuming it's going to be, like, the main villain. It seems like it's going to add a lot more content, and I went back to the game when DLC Pass 1 came out. I am super excited to finally finish off this game.
It sounds like they're adding story as well.
Yeah, new story content. That's why we're getting new maps and stuff. But the difference between this DLC and the first Hyrule Warriors is that one gave us a bunch of, like, shock value characters, a bunch of crossovers. But this one's, like, adding actual meat to the game. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Zeke, did you play Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity?
Ooh, enjoy your 15 frames per second.
It's not that bad.
It's not. I have played the original Hyrule Warriors. It
hangs from like 25 to 30.
I'll stick with my Persona 5 strikers.
It chugs, but it doesn't chug in the way like that's unplayable. It's just sort of like a visual chug, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just looks like the bit rate was turned down.
Unless you're like doing something insane, it's not that noticeable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Persona 5 Strikers is the same thing. And also Strikers has a bunch of like weird crazy blood effects everywhere too. So
what do you mean, man? Just Persona.
Alright, Chocobo GP. Mario Kart 9 win?
Oh yeah, I literally
Which
labeled that on mine as a rip-off Mario Kart game from Square Enix.
There's actually an interesting mechanic with it, but I can't remember what it was that sets it out differently from Mario Kart. And they literally made note of it in the direct, but I totally forgot what it was.
I forgot about it too, so you're all good.
Obviously, it wasn't important enough. Moving on.
Right?
Alright, so the final Smash Direct was announced. We already know what the character is, but we're not talking about it here. Moving on.
No, we don't. Smash hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's gonna be Crash. It's gonna be Crash.
Probably Crash more than likely.
Crash or genetic Pokemon.
I'm gonna call Persona 5 Royal, the new Royal Expansion Pass DLC characters.
Okay.
What? Okay.
Sorry, I pulled an Atlas moment for a second. My bad.
I see that.
Alright, the next thing, announcement of an announcement, is that there's also an Animal Crossing Direct coming. Which, so far, from what we know, we don't know anything right now. But so far, from what we know, that Brewster is for sure coming back, and thank God! I don't even know what Brewster is, but apparently people have been wanting him.
So
this direct will be exciting.
Don't know anything about Animal Crossing, right?
No. It's going to be a really disappointing additions. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, I'm expecting so much, dude. I bet it's going to be awesome.
I bet Capin's coming back. I bet there's going to be ordinances again. I don't even know what ordinances are.
Alright, I have a theory. They're going to do paid DLC, tie it into NSO, and it's going to be a Happy Home Designer sequel.
Whoa, that's a little too ambitious, man. That's
I know.
That's just too much.
Oh, and that's the reason why we haven't seen the price yet.
Ooh, no. The price is very reasonable. It's going to be $30 a year.
$30 a year?
$30 a year.
I'm expecting $100 a year. Honestly, I think they're going to pull an Xbox.
Nintendo is very generous. They're going to do everything for us to make sure it's no higher than 30.
All right, next up is honestly, in my personal opinion, the weakest part of the Direct. I'm just kidding. My man right here got his own 3D adventure. Finally, after so long, Kirby and the Forgotten Land has been announced. for 2022.
I don't even like Kirby, and that game got me out of my seat excited.
3D Kirby game.
The only thing I will say that's unfortunate, it got leaked hours ahead. By Nintendo!
Leaked. It's not even that it got leaked. It's that IGN, Nintendo, everything just plastered the name and the picture all over the internet.
I didn't see that.
Come on. You got lucky. Like, I'll admit, I looked at the leak myself just to see what it was. But within, like, 20 minutes of that, IGN is posting it, GameSpot, Nintendo, everything. Just,
To be honest,
it's just...
I was at school, and then I just immediately came home and turned on the laptop and started streaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that pissed a lot of people off, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even, like, hide it like a mystery thing. They showed the leaked image and everything. Just
No,
right on
Nintendo just they did the same thing with Kirby Fighter 2. Like, they're like, I guess it's like a thing that they do with Kirby now, is leak it a day before.
It's fun. We expect it, so they just leak it themselves.
Alright, Mario Golf Super Rush Update 2 was announced and released. Did you get to play it, you guys?
I hopped on a little bit. The courses are fun, but I admit when we were getting DLC, I was hoping for more wacky, zany courses like New Donk. So I'm a little disappointed that we're just getting another desert course and a snow course.
Zeke, did you play Mario Golf?
Yeah. I guess it wasn't much, but it was something.
Hey,
Ninja's a cool
funny.
character. Exactly. Yeah, he's great.
Character, yeah.
It's good content. It's not the last content, thankfully, but my big thing with Super Rush is that they haven't been showing off the Mario content as much as they should.
The Mario
It feels like
content?
No, it just feels like a generic golf game with Mario characters.
Yeah, I guess.
It's
Yeah,
got
I guess.
some. It's mainly with the course design. Like, when you look back at World Tour on the 3DS and see the kind of courses that game got, it's night and day.
We'll say, though, they put a lot of effort into, like, the visual, like, the graphics and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The game's
Definitely
beautiful.
could have made more, like, Mario-themed courses.
Exactly.
So, a couple months ago, some guy decided to leak the entirety of, Nintendo's second half of the year. And one of those things is that they approached Disney for some music in the coming months. And that is why they announced Disney's Magical World 2 is getting ported to Nintendo Switch. Woo! I don't even know what this is.
Game of the year.
I don't know what it is.
It's
not be important.
I think it's like an adventure game with Disney characters. It's some sort of like RPG, I think.
RPG? Okay.
I think it's like some like RPG for like
RPG?
7-year-olds.
Wait, hold on. RPG. Just kidding. RPG?
It seems harmless, but who cares?
Yeah. Next up is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know what this is. Apparently there's a remake out, and the Switch is getting the old version.
I mean, good for the Switch. It's a great game, I've heard. I'm not gonna try it.
I've never heard of it, so it's the first I've heard of it. Even the remake, so... The Dying Light series is coming to Nintendo Switch. Anybody know what this is?
Oh, yeah! Dying Light 2 Stay Human Cloud version.
Cloud version.
The title of the game, don't wear it out.
Well, they, first one got, like, it was either leaked or revealed early, like, a couple months back. We didn't have a release date until now. 2 coming via cloud makes sense. It's cool. But I don't like how heavy we're leaning on cloud games these days.
But, okay, it runs fine in Japan. From what I've heard, it runs, like, smooth, 100% like butter in Japan. Here, we have shit Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, we have McDonald's Wi-Fi across the United States. And it does not work. Like, it's literally unplayable. I don't even know how they're allowed to release cloud versions in the West. Like, it is literally unplayable.
I have no problem with cloud games.
If they make sense that they can't be ported onto the Switch, like Dying Light 2, I'm not against them, but this hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to tell you that Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch, and they're going to be cloud versions. Yeah. That's lazy.
Now, here's the thing. 1, if you're not confident enough in your skills to try, like Bethesda, to port your games to the Switch, and hell, fit it on a cartridge, go the extra mile like Eternal did. If you're not confident enough, then don't fucking release your game on Switch. Like, just do not. Bye.
Yeah.
Get out. Like, I'm gatekeeping you. I'm just kidding. But Honestly, if you're not willing to try, then don't do it, especially for your Western audience, because as soon as they see cloud version, more than likely they're going to be like, either I'm not going to buy this, or I'm going to invest in a PS5 to play the better version.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, I am not. I've been excited for Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, but if it's a cloud version, I'm still buying a PS5. But I'm probably gonna just play the PS4 version on PS5.
If they sell, they sell. I think it's lazy. I don't see why some people, especially with games that can 100% run on Switch, if you get the right developers for it, sure. But if they want to release them, it's harmless. I don't see it as like an insult. It just kind of defeats the purpose of a hybrid console.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing, too. NSO, well, they're like, you could play N64 games anytime, anywhere. What? No, you can't. You have to be connected to the internet in order to play them.
You can.
I can't.
No, you can.
It doesn't allow me
to do like.
It doesn't allow me to play
like
download games at all. Any of my downloaded stuff can't play offline.
You have to verify your license every so while, but you can still
you
play
have to
offline.
You have to verify the license once a week, but anytime after that, you can take the games out and play it without internet connection.
Really? I have never been able. I've been able to do it with Dread for some reason, but I haven't been able to do it with any of the game. It's
Wait,
so
you're talking
weird.
about just really?
Like any of my digital games. Like I was able to do it with Dread on the flight. Don't know how or why.
Is it because you're a secondary system and somebody else is playing it? Or no,
it is my account, and the only other system with both of my Switches have the account, or all three of them, I guess, have the account. But I don't know why it doesn't allow me to play offline. It's so weird.
I'd check into that. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's been an issue for a while. Like I'm like, oh shoot, I guess I can't play offline. So then I turn on a hotspot real quick just to open the game, and then I just turn it off after I'm done opening it. So it's like...
Yeah, that something sounds off there.
Yeah. Alright, so next up is Triangle Strategy. Apparently that wasn't the placeholder name. That was the name, and it's also getting a release date. 2022. I think.
It's March 4th.
Yeah.
The game looks good.
Companies always do that.
Yeah.
The release with the placeholder release names, and then they did it with Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah, they did.
They literally had tentative title, and then
I feel like they're gonna do something like Dark Moon, like Scary Hotel or something. Luigi's Hotel.
The game looks great, but that title does not have selling potential. No. Nobody is going to walk in who doesn't know what this game is and be like, Triangle Strategy, that sounds fun.
And it doesn't even look like a sequel to Octopath Traveler. Like, Octopath Traveler was a decent name.
Really.
It's like,
it's not a sequel
Triangle Strategy, what is this, math? I don't want to do math.
Yeah. Like,
I'll get Brain Age Academy.
That's $30 cheaper, too.
All right.
It looks fine.
No,
you're good.
I don't know anything about this. Octopath Traveler. Like the only thing I'll say about both of these games is that the graphics amazing. Pokemon needs to follow them, but that's it.
I can't wait for the Dragon Quest III remake in that art style.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is Metroid Dread Extra News. They spoiled too much of this game, to be honest.
I feel like they had to just to get more people to buy
it.
It sucks, but yeah.
I mean, it was a lot. Like they wasted so much time on Metroid Dread. It was like a huge 30-second spot for this. Like instead of saying, "Hey, Metroid Dread's coming out soon," they completely rehashed a couple of the volumes, and they're like, "Find out more on NintendoSwitch.com or MetroidDread.com." I'm like, okay.
Nintendo Directs have more focus than sometimes their socials do, so it makes sense.
But even with Link's Awakening, it was like 10-15 seconds of, hey, it's coming out soon, or it's already out, have fun.
Yeah, but you know Zelda's gonna sell. Like, Link's Awakening broke 4 million, no sweat, and we're sitting here questioning if Metroid Dread is even gonna top 3 million.
It's already topped all other games in the series, hasn't it?
It's gonna do... Not lifetime, but first week. It might be in the UK, but not overall.
Pre-orders, it's the #1 selling on Amazon for a while.
Oh, it's gonna sell very well. It's gonna become
sell.
the best-selling Metroid game. Absolutely.
I never got into Metroid. I never picked it up.
I'm only like an hour and a half in. It's really good, but I forgot how bad I am at like real Metroidvanias, so I'm gonna go back in my corner and play more Ori.
I hated Shadow Knight, Hollow Knight. Like I am already so. This is the same thing that I had, same problem I had with Breath of the Wild. I was like, the world's too big for my tiny brain. I don't know where to go. There's too many paths. I'm scared. Mommy, come pick me up. Like
after Ori, I wanted to keep playing stuff like that, so I instantly hopped into Hollow Knight again, and I picked it up when it first came out on Switch. I got a lot farther, but I'm at the point where I'm not connected to the world. I'm not connected to the story. I gave up.
I just feel like most games like that, for a casual audience, which, as far as I can tell with Metroid, it's kind of doing that there is a straight, linear path for those who are new to the series, because frankly, it needs that. So same thing with Hollow Knight, same thing for Breath of the Wild. I think there needs to be a definite path that you can go on, but that path is sort of like a dotted line. So you can be... So even for casual players can drift off and do whatever they want for a little bit and then come back to that dotted line. And then, you know, for Metroid and Zelda, eventually you can come to the end in a different way that you wanted to. But for those casual fans like me who don't know what to do in this scary giant world, to have a line, a dedicated path to go on. Which Metroid, as far as I've been playing, it has. But from what I've heard, it just goes apeshit crazy later on. And Breath of the Wild does not have a straight line at all, ever. So
yeah, that's fair.
The fun of playing the game is figuring out where to go after getting lost for 3 hours.
Yeah, but I don't find that fun. I just get anxiety.
And I hate to be this guy, but just look up a guide.
But I'm not gonna. But that's.
I get what you're saying, but you're kind of asking them to hold your hand.
No, I'm not saying literally hold my hand. I'm saying a dotted line where it's like, oh, I can tell where I need to go, or maybe you have to kind of figure it out. Like again, the beginning.
They have map markers in Breath of the Wild.
It doesn't help me at all.
It just go to it.
20 years ago,
we have to play. You have to sit down with me for 20 hours and play Breath of the Wild with me and help me.
If you will pay me, I will gladly do that, because I do not have time to sit down with you for 20 hours.
Alright, next up after that, we got the bombshell of the NSO Expansion Pack, and that includes N64 games, which, first of all, the launch lineup, great. The post-launch lineup, even better. We already have the announcement of Banjo freaking Kazooie.
It's the fact that they're keeping Banjo, Majora's Mask, and Paper Mario post-launch. Like, I'm excited for it now.
At least we know that they're happening. They're not gatekeeping us.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hop into Ocarina of Time on day one. I'm gonna hop into Star Fox, but let me be honest, I really just want to hop into Majora's Mask.
I just realized we're getting Paper Mario before we're getting Mario RPG.
Are we saying?
Are we really getting that?
Paper Mario? Yeah, we are.
Yeah. It was in the, like, scrolling. Yeah.
I paid $15 for that in the Wii U for virtual. Wow.
But the emulation quality is horrible on Wii U. I will admit it is.
It's weird. True. They look a lot better on Switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it probably looks even better on the OLED. Like, oh, I want to play Paper Mario in, because apparently they upscaled it a little bit too. From what I've heard, they did a little bit of texture work with some of the emulation on NSO. Which, that means I can't wait to play. Oh my god, Majora's Mask on the OLED and all those dark tones. Oh, that's going to be great.
OLED. I don't have it.
Oh, but, or is that next month?
Wait. The N64 games?
Oh, for the expansion.
So the expansion's coming out the 25th, but we don't know when Majora's Mask is coming, assuming next year.
I'm hoping they stick to like maybe one or two games a month. Don't do like every 3 months like they've been doing.
The only question that I have is that with NES and SNES Online, the games that we've been getting, I assume that the reason why they haven't given to us right away is because they're working on licensing and getting them buying the license to these games and then putting them online. But Majora's Mask, they're holding it back for what reason? Like, other than just
to generate hype,
just teasing, like they could literally just push a button and upload it, I assume.
Yeah, but you know how this would go. It would be okay, these games are out, sweet. A month later, where's more?
Yeah, I guess.
It's to keep
But NSO
excitement going.
N64 games are longer than NES and SNES, so we have to keep that in mind as well. That
Yes.
we already have a shit ton of games to play at launch, so
Yes, but launch it with a low amount and build it over time rather than, let's say, launch it with 20 games and nothing for the next like 6 to 12 months. You're gonna have a lot more angry people at that one than the small amount, just because you're gonna keep getting new stuff and it's gonna keep building.
am I the only one that thought that shooter was 007?
I did too.
I was like, oh, 007, no way, they're doing it. And nope.
I didn't say anything, but I was like, no way.
Alright, so moving on. Shadowrun Collection. Apparently another RPG. Don't know it.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I completely skipped on two major elements of NSO. Genesis games, that's out of left field. Hold on. That's huge.
Yeah.
But it's already the fifth way to play Sonic 2 on Switch alone.
Also, can I make mention that all these months of GB games coming to NSO, and that was the one system we didn't get?
Yeah, I know, that's weird. Like, honestly, my personal opinion was we're gonna get the announcement of Game Boy and N64, but N64 was gonna come out maybe later next year. That was my thought process.
Too.
And then completely out of left field, no mention of Game Boy, but Genesis. Well, apparently Genesis is coming back from the Wii, which is still great, but out of left field. And we're getting controllers for both of them.
I'm definitely not complaining, because going into the September when we got those rumors for Game Boy games, I was really kind of because I'm like, I don't really have a connection to those games. So I am so happy we got N64. I'm just wondering where they are.
I just want to play Pokemon Crystal on the Switch.
I think they still hold value in Game Boy games, and that's why they didn't do it, or did they just
I don't know.
do it?
Maybe they're saving it for like a edition next year or something. I don't
Honestly,
know.
before that they release a next gen, unless next gen uses the same UI as the Switch like it does Xbox, I really hope that we get at least catching up to Wii U's level of Virtual Console. Like, I would like to see at least a DS by the end of the Switch's era.
We'll see.
Imagine if they revamped, Nintendo Wi-Fi. Oh, that would be so cool.
I don't think we're getting DS. I don't think we're getting Wii. Maybe GameCube. I'm not getting my hopes up.
I mean, we didn't even have GameCube on Wii U, and Wii was...
I know, but that's the point.
Was Wii really even Virtual Console? It was essentially just downloading Wii games. It was weird.
I think they had like 15 to 20 of them, though, so it was something.
I don't know if I would call it Virtual Console, though, because it was like...
Nintendo did. I agree with you, but Nintendo did.
Alright, moving on. Deltarune Chapter 2. I literally predicted this. I was like... I literally was like, okay, can they at least do Deltarune Chapter 2? Boom, there it is. Wow.
There you go. It's out now.
Thank you. Thank you, Toby Fox. And it's still free.
Yeah.
Alright, time for the biggest thing of the day, right?
Castlevania Advance Collection? What?
After that.
ActRaiser?
It's cool that this is coming, though.
No one after that.
ActRaiser?
Come on.
Splatoon 3?
One after.
I'm just kidding. We skipped one. Mario movie and its cast. Woo! Chris Pratt as Mario. Best casting I have ever seen in my entire life. Charlie Day as Luigi. What's her name? The chess player as Peach. That's not a bad choice, though. The chess player as Peach, I will admit. That's okay. But... Jack Black as Bowser, that is God tier. That's beyond me.
I'm the only one who jumped out of their seat for Pikmin 4 when Miyamoto arrived on that stage.
He was wearing a Mario shirt.
I don't care. I wasn't expecting goddamn Mario movie
Pikmin
news.
4.
I don't know. Miyamoto doesn't show up to directs. I was thinking, oh my god, it's happening.
I will say the dumbest thing about this: they revealed the cast and they revealed the release date, but they didn't show us a trailer.
Yeah, I assume the trailer is coming pretty soon, though. Maybe early
I think we'll
next
get it
year.
sometime early. Yeah, exactly.
But that was hilarious. I was laughing the whole time, and then there's people. I've seen people's reaction. There's like sitting here like this the whole time, like completely in shock.
That was the biggest reaction I've ever had for a direct. I've just
That's
never seen anything like
second
it.
biggest reaction, because the first biggest reaction was Sans. You have no idea. I was freaking out in the car. Like, I didn't have a streaming setup back then. I was like shaking. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And this was during the banjo one too. I was like, I'm gonna be bored this whole time. Like,
yeah? You wanted to say more about that?
I'm like, what are these moves that Banjo has? He has leap, so great. I don't know what this is. Alright, so Splatoon... Or, did you guys want to say anything about ActRaiser?
No.
Okay, Splatoon 3. I know you're really excited about this, Highland, because you were like, really... You're like, oh my god, Splatoon 3 on the OLED trailer!
Okay, so... Splatoon is one of those games, just like Smash, that I can go back to any day of the week, and it's so much fun.
I still don't have any of the games.
I will admit, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about 3 right now. Like, the story's gonna be great, but from what I'm seeing, it's just not much change. Like, the new specials seem cool, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a big leap yet. I'm hoping that changes.
Battle Royale mode.
I think they'll do something like that. They've got to.
Big open world. Every game has to be open world, right?
Laughing about that now, but in like 2 years, I'll take you back to this episode and be laughing then.
They're gonna have a mini game in Splatsville where you get to go in the arcade and you get to finally play Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
What?
That's how we're getting it on Switch.
For
That's
30,
how we're gonna get it.
For 30 seconds, like the brawl things.
Oh my god. Yes, exactly. And then I can finally shut up about them.
They're like, just for you, Highland, for you to shut the fuck up.
They're not coming. Shut up.
Alright, and then finally, another bombshell. Bombshell after bombshell. Another number 3. Bayonetta 3. After so long... We're finally getting a release date, and
can I just
gameplay.
Say that we got this game revealed before Smash, and we finally saw its first gameplay
when Smash is over.
Before we got the final Smash DLC.
The reason why there was a third game was because of Smash, more than likely.
Yes.
So
I think so.
I don't know. Also, there's apparently a theory that Bayonetta isn't Bayonetta, so. There's that.
Well, different voice actress. There's like similarities between one of the characters I think in the first Bayonetta. So maybe.
I will admit, she's not my type, but this design is pretty hot.
Yeah, Bayonetta do be looking good though.
She do.
All right, that sounds like it's it for the Nintendo Direct. Anything you want to touch back on, or?
No, it was a good Direct. I was surprised after all the rumors that we didn't get the Xenoblade announcement.
Yeah, that's weird. That was weird because wasn't it like literally like a month before the Pyra voice actor was like, "Where's the game that I just spent time working on?"
We got all that stuff from Imran Khan, basically saying the game was supposed to come out this holiday, but that we could see a reveal this year. So he didn't say that we were. So I could see, honestly, Nintendo's going to do something at the Game Awards. I do think it's going to be Breath of the Wild. But maybe Game Awards, or if not that, February Direct.
I don't know. That's just like... That's the weirdest thing to me, is that the Pyra's voice actor was like, where's my game? That's like the weirdest thing.
I don't think it was Pyra. I think it was Melia.
Oh, well, someone.
One of the voice actresses, yeah.
But still, like, imagine doing all that work and then being told that the game is finished for it not to be announced ever.
I think it could be a summer release next year or the holiday, its usual slot.
Holiday?
Wait, is it confirmed that it's Xenoblade 3?
Yes.
Okay, not X2.
I want X ported. On X ported.
I didn't like X. I can't get behind that.
I like the X. On it ported.
A Daemon X Machina.
X is one of the last few Wii U games that should come, but
is Bayonetta?
I don't.
Is Bayonetta 3 the last game that we've known about? That hasn't released yet?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess we're done.
Yes, I think so.
We're done.
Prime 4.
Prime 4, but yeah, I'll just assume it's canceled. No, just kidding.
It's not canceled.
No, what I think is gonna happen is that next year we're probably getting the trilogy, and then after that we'll get Prime 4, or maybe both in a year, which I highly doubt. But...
Actually, to double back on those rumors, apparently right now the current belief is it's not going to be a trilogy, but it's going to be a remastered of the first one, and 2 and 3 might come separately.
See, the problem I have with remasters versus collections is that, like, obviously it's less work on developers' part, but it gets people into the mood to play those games.
Yeah.
And for, past fans, they're like, I get to play these games all over again on a new console. For new players, such as myself, I don't want to fucking hop into... I was scared to hop into Dread. I almost didn't buy it because I played Metroid 1 on NSO, and I'm like, this game is awful. But people say that Metroid 1...
With a story-focused game like that, are you really going to have 1 and 4 on the system?
Yeah, and that's another thing, too, is that unlike Zelda and Kirby, all the games are pretty much standalone. Exactly. They're standalone experiences, but the Prime series in particular is a connected, drawn experience. The same thing with Metroid, but Metroid we have like 2 of the games already on Switch, so that's fine. But with Metroid Prime in particular, especially because you already have a game that's pretty much ready to just pop onto Switch. I know it requires a little bit more work than just pushing a button, but you can release all the games on this. There's only 4 games. Like, you can count them on your fingers. Like, it allows you to play through all the games all in rapid succession and get the full story. So
yeah.
All right. Okay. So number 1, how was the Direct? Out of 10 for all of us.
I give it a strong 8.
Zeke?
For a September Direct, it was good.
I'm gonna lean 8.
I'll go with an 8 as well. Is it better than E3 though?
No.
I say it topped E3
for me.
Just
Metroid,
for Nintendo Switch and Chris Pratt.
Metroid, Breath of the Wild, they top it. Kirby was great, but Kirby was the only new reveal, basically.
N64
Bayonetta we knew about.
I looked through E3. I completely forget what happened at E3.
Prime.
E3
Prime,
was Kazuya, Breath of the Wild, Mario Party, WarioWare, Metroid.
So for me, N64 and Chris Pratt topped it for me. So
fair.
Honestly, I think this is for me. I think this is better than E3, just because Animal Crossing and Kirby, and I feel like it just had more stuff.
Yeah.
If they would have announced things for Animal Crossing and Smash, I'd be more willing to argue that.
Yeah.
But they announced 5 or 6 new first-party games at E3. We got Kirby.
So after this, that's pretty much it for the year. So I will do a full year recap later, but I do want to say, how are you feeling as we stand currently for, game releases and stuff?
Really strong year. Again, it's all heavily leaned on the back half, but that's just expected of Nintendo. But this is the first year, I think, since 2017 that we've had a pretty cohesive lineup throughout the entire year.
I feel like 2022 is going to be...
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's already starting off strong. We already know about amazing releases for next year too.
That's until they all get delayed.
I think we know already 75-80% of the lineup for next year.
I mean, Splatoon 3.
And I'm not upset about that.
Splatoon 3, Kirby, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Zelda. That's already a full year. You're done.
And don't forget Mario Rabbids.
That's true. You already have a full year.
And we could throw in Xenoblade 3 and the DK game if they happen.
This just feels like too much.
Amazing.
No?
Yeah, that's the thing. We're already set up to have a good year.
This feels like 2017, but stronger.
Just without Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart.
What is going on with Mario? We haven't had... It's
Bowser's Fury. There you go.
It's going to be 6-7 years between releases at this rate.
You mean from Odyssey or...
From Odyssey to whatever the sequel is. I'm
and
not
Mario
counting Bowser's
Kart?
Fury. I know I could.
Mario Kart's
Kart, that's going to be
old man.
10 years. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that just about covers it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Zeke, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed your stay, your time.
It was great having you.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for letting me on to your podcast as well. So now we can say that we've exchanged. We had
exchanged the podcasts.
All right. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in just a few weeks, hopefully. And we will be talking about the abysmal month that was October, immediately following the abysmal month that was, you know,
it really sucks
September.
that Ryu Hayabusa is going to be in Smash and all they're adding to Animal Crossing is slopes.